Let's go.
Okay.
This is a test.
So imagine a scenario where a man's current relationship is suddenly disrupted by the unexpected reappearance of a third person. This could be like an old college flame or someone from the past. This creates tension, confusion, and maybe even unresolved emotions. So, from
Mm,
your perspective, what steps should he take to address this situation in a way that prioritizes trust, communication, and the health of his current relationship? How can he navigate those emotional landmines while reassuring his current partner and setting clear boundaries? So, this is my question.
okay, so allow me to repeat for my understanding. So you're married and you're meeting a flame from the past, someone you were emotionally attached to in the past, and that has, for whatever reason, an impact on your relationship. Yeah. So there are about 100,000 plus issues attached with that. I would say the biggest problem, and that is based on own experience, not necessarily from me, but also from my past involvement in online dating, where if you go back in time, Facebook, as a good example, worked great to connect with old friends and also with high school loves. So what happened is that you did connect through Facebook, but you can connect through anything or run into someone or have a high school reunion or where you create where that situation is created, where you create that situation. So right there and then is two options. If you deal with that openly and you talk to your partner and you say, you wouldn't believe what happened, then that is the first step towards openness and less of a problem. However, most of the times you start engaging with the person and then it goes back and forth and back and forth. And before you bling, you exchange, oh, you remember that night in the movie theater, or you remember this and this and this and this. So it starts to create an environment that kind of leaves your partner outside and you create this old environment, attachment, emotional attachment with that other individual. Of course, if you put yourself now into the shoes of your partner, when you discover that, and that discovering is that that's the problem in itself already, because you discover something that you should not have to discover. Because if your partner would be open and say, oh, Bob just connected with me, or Paula, or whoever, then that is taking care of that right there and then. Because you also should talk to your partner about, hey, Bob connected with me. How you feel about that? You know, why keep it as a secret? Are you embarrassed? And then many people will say, oh, I wanted to keep it for myself. It's not that important. Or I wanted to keep it for myself to not hurt my partner's feelings. So you already assume, which means you kind of try and project what your partner would say. And here's an old saying that I always repeat: the choices we make determine the challenges we will face. So that is a bad choice, to keep it for yourself, to try and predict what your partner would say. That's almost like mind reading. And you may say, well, in the past, this and this has happened in a very similar situation. It doesn't matter. That may have been a mistake. And then you learn, because mistakes are learning experiences. You move on. You learn from a mistake in the past. And even if that mistake has not been made yet, maybe you're making that mistake right now. So my advice is, don't keep it as a secret. Deal with it the way it should be dealt with, unless you feel for some reason any emotions and you want to keep it a secret and play games. But right there and then, you're also playing with fire. So it's up to you. The choices you make will determine the challenges you will face. My advice: make the right choice.
Thanks, Tino. Thanks for the advice. And here is a follow-up question for you. So what if I have uh I have kept the secret right at the start of my relationship. And now how I can say it, like how I can share it with my spouse that, hey, I met this person and she doesn't know about that person.
Yeah.
And now all of a sudden I have to convey it to her.
Okay. So another uh, very common situation. There are many options. A lot of people advocate complete openness. I don't. I don't think you need to share everything and every detail in detail with your partner. Because, first, what is reality? What is reality? Reality to us is what we perceive as reality, which means reality to me may be a little different than reality to you. It's all a matter of perspective. So, why do you share everything and every detail? Is it because you believe that your partner should say, no problem, everything is great? Is that what you want to hear? That's almost like absolution. And is it so you don't have bad feelings when you pursue that, when you do that, when you think about it, and. So why do you do it? You do it for yourself or you do it for your partner? That's an important question to ask. If you do it for yourself, that's selfish. So you may want to keep that to yourself just to feel better. It's not about you. It's really also about your partner. Every decision you make for yourself has an impact, one way or another, on your partner. So think about that. So if you say, I want to make the best decisions for us, for our relationship, that means you really need to put yourself into both shoes. And what I often refer to is if you sit in front of a painting and you look at it from the right angle, not the right and wrong angle, the right and left angle, but you look at it from the right angle, and then you get up and you sit down and you look at it from a left angle. What you will realize is that that same painting all of a sudden looks a little different. That is what you need to do. Before you decide what reality is, look at it from different perspectives, not just yours, also your partner's.
Yeah. So that clears the air. Yeah. And thanks for explaining this to me, So,
Sure.
that's really good and solid advice. Thanks for that.
All right.